Well, we're out checking out another foreclosure auction, and today we're right near a lake in Massachusetts. And I just pulled up to this really rundown house, and I'm saying, wow, okay, no wonder this place is up for foreclosure, and got to start thinking about what kind of money we're gonna have to put into it. And then I realized, oh my God, I parked at the wrong house. There's actually another rundown house next to the foreclosure auction that's about to kick off. So I might have just stumbled over a gold mine. You should stick around and see what happens at today's auction. So what did I say? Stumble on a gold mine? A lot of people wouldn't see it that way. When you pull up to a house like this, and we've all seen these, right? You've driven by this house on your block or in a neighborhood, and you're like, man, I really wish somebody would do something with that house. The city needs to get involved. Somebody should fix that place up. That somebody could be you. And we teach about how if you're out driving around, we call it, a lot of people call it driving for dollars, how you just need to train your brain to real estate. And instead of seeing this rundown, blighted, overgrown property that somebody should do about, you should see it as a bag of money that somebody left on the side of the road. And today, that's what I wanted to talk to you a little bit about right before this auction kicks off. So with this property here, now that I've seen it, I'm gonna jot the address down. I'm gonna investigate the property a little bit, and already I can tell you it seems vacant, but I'm gonna take my photos of it. And then what I'll do is start putting together what I guesstimate to be a rehab plan and factor in some expenses. Figure out what the after repair value of the property is. And you base that on, what similar homes in the area maybe have recently sold for that have been all fixed up. And you start backing out all the repair expenses, and you can see it needs a lot. It needs a roof, it needs porches, it needs, well, probably most of the interior. It's gonna need some love. You start coming up with a basic rehab amount. You start backing these numbers out, and then you start factoring in, how long you're maybe gonna hold it, the cost of maybe borrowing hard money to do this work, and you start coming up with an offer price. Then after that, you wanna start trying to track down the owner of the house. You can do that in a variety of ways, but really you wanna start, looking around and seeing who owns it, how to get a hold of them, maybe do one of those paid Google searches and track somebody down that way, and make a few phone calls, knock on a few neighbors' doors, play detective. In fact, neighbors are one of the best sources of information about a rundown, blighted property in the area. Why? Because they're also the people that are saying, man, somebody should do something with this property. They want that eyesore fixed up, and they'd be a great avenue to go through to try to get whatever info you can to maybe reach out to the current owners, wherever they may be, of this property. So that's a little bit of a tip, but what we're here for today and what you guys subscribe for is some foreclosure auction. And man, we wrote the book on how to win property at half price at foreclosure auctions. So today, we're gonna go check out a live foreclosure auction. I'm gonna bring you around and let you see a little bit about what we see when we pull up to these properties, and we'll see how this one turns out today. All right, well, we're rolling in the Rivian today, and I pulled up to this foreclosure auction up here. I'm gonna check this place out. We're gonna do a quick walk around as best we can. When we show up to these things, generally speaking, we don't know a lot about each property. What I would really suggest if you're starting out and doing this, that you do as much due diligence way in advance of the auction as you possibly can. Some of that due diligence, we cover this in our book. I'm gonna give you one thing right now that's important: municipal fees, taxes, water, sewer, maybe code enforcement or board of health fines and violations, things like that, that might have stacked up for many, many years on this property. Why is that important? Well, because the bid price, whatever you're bidding at today's auction on this house, that's not going to account for those things. So if I bid $100,000 and then suddenly I find out that there's $20,000 more in all this backed up taxes and all these other fees, I'm going to be out of pocket $120 just to acquire this property. And that could change things dramatically in terms of if I got a good deal or not. So you want to factor that in to your bidding strategy. You can do that way in advance before you've even laid eyes on the property. All right, I mean, first thing I'll tell you is this is a really cool location, and I would live here all day long. So I'm always shopping. I mean, we do this for, a living, but I still get a kick out of this kind of stuff and keep having a little childish spirit about it where I'm like, man, this would be so awesome. I could buy this place, I could do this, I could do that, I could have my four-wheelers over there, there's a lake over there, I could put a boat on it. So I get excited and I kind of forget that, that's not what we're really here to do. But I'm checking this place out and I'm like, wow, what a cool, rural area and really outdoor living type of opportunity somebody would have here. So I see a little bit beyond what you might see when you look around, but this place isn't that bad. It's just a little rough around the edges. It looks like it's been vinyl sided. It looks like it's had a number of updates done to it, maybe some additions put on it over time here. It could be a really interesting purchase. unfortunately, it also appears to be occupied. So I'm standing in the driveway right now of a property that, you know, is probably lived in. And it means I don't get to see the inside of this house. I have no idea if the inside has a working heating system, if it's been gutted, if it's full and it's a hoarder property. I really don't know much about it. So I'm really bidding on a mystery box. And that, for me, makes me a little bit more concerned. It makes my maximum bid that much more lower. And honestly, if the bank puts in a pretty high bid to cover what they are owed on the property, I may not be able to compete against the bank's bid. So it kind of sucks that way, where I may lower my opportunity to buy a house, but it's way better than buying something wrong and getting it over your head and losing money. So that's the good angle I take out of it. Let's go take a look around the other side of the house and see what we can see. So aside from the fact that it looks like a jungle through here, all that means to me is this place could clean up so nice. But let's take a look at this side of the property. This seems to be a, I don't know if it's an actual street or probably just a driveway to another house. And this is what I'm talking about. I would totally live in a place like this, a little bit off-roading to get home. Hell yeah. So one thing I'm noticing right there is we've got ventilation pipes for the heating system. My guess is that means he did a newer heating system. That's a high efficient system. That's fantastic to see. New propane tank. Roof looks good, looks dirty to me, but it looks like it's probably newer and good. I mean, everything's vinyl sided. The rear windows looking great. This place needs some TLC from what I can tell from the outside. Otherwise, I don't think it's in horrible shape. I bet this would be, my gut tells me this is going to be a great opportunity for a homeowner to come out and buy. So if somebody was looking to get a house that they could buy for themselves, maybe for their family, get out of an apartment, they hate their landlord, they hate their neighborhood that they're stuck renting in, and they want to buy a nice home for themselves that they can fix up a little bit at a time. You know, go to Home Depot on the weekends and get some work done and some projects. This would be the place for it, because I'm betting they can get it at a great price for that use from the bank, where they'll buy a home in today's market that's habitable. You can move in, fix it up little by little, doesn't need a ton of work, I'm betting, and have equity in it, as opposed to going to MLS with a real estate agent and paying, you know, full price, maybe a little bit over full appraised value for a property. This is a great opportunity for somebody like you, if you're interested in buying yourself a home to live in, to buy yourself maybe your first property.
$2,397.89.
183 will take.
What a bargain. You're out?
Brandon, you're already out. Going once, going twice. So back to the bank for $182,397.89.
Wow.
Thanks, everybody.
Wow. Like that's what they're owed, I'm sure, you know, and that's fine. But what are they going to do? They're going to kick the guy out, right? They're going to slap an eviction notice on his door, kick him out, and then they're going to sell it on the market themselves?
That's the intention, I'm assuming, at this point. Yeah. I mean, there's no way to know what's going to happen.
Well, we can't win them all. In fact, you're not going to win most of them, but you don't need to. You only need to get a couple of good home runs to win the game. And you got to take joy in the little things, like this got me out at least to hang out at the really nice lake that this property is right next to. So that's pretty awesome. I had no idea this lake was that awesome. I might have to come back here, and we'll maybe find a way to shoot some more content as an excuse to come back and hang out with you guys. Unfortunately, that place went for really what the bank was owed still on the mortgage. So we're not going to end up seeing that be a new entry and a new book. But this is a great example of the kind of stuff you're going to see in our book, Foreclosures Unlocked, now available on Amazon. Pick up a copy, makes a lovely stocking stuffer. And hopefully on the next video, you're going to see us just hit the ball out of the park with an amazing deal that shows you how you can buy houses at half price.